Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and we are here today to play around with the challenge hashtag ABC April 2025, and we are currently on H. Now, the prompts are listed in the two hosts of the challenge. Either you can find them at Seven Plaza's YouTube or Coffee Account, I believe it's at. Crafty by Tony has it listed as hers. The links for both of their YouTube channels are in the description. You can also find other places to find them on Instagram. Okay, H. So they have this prompt list, and it has some ideas for H's. So they have hardware, hinged, haberdashery, hidden. I did not pick any of those. I picked half pages. Now, what I consider a half page is when you normally have a digital or a book page or something, and it is, going to fit your full journal, and all you just need to fold it in half, and it fits. Now, what I call half pages are when you don't have something this big, but you want to put it into your journal. So, let me get this guy out of the way. You don't want to use him, but let's say I have these two pages laying around. This is part of a digital. It's been cut off. This is approximately where half was, and this part was cut off for something else. And this is just part of a book page that at some point I used the other part. Now, if you put these two together, they equal about 8.5 inches, right? My math is right, 9.5 inches. Boy, math is not good. 9.5 inches. So 8.5 by 11 is usually what a page is. So 9.5, that's not too bad for a page. You can have something shorter. So I'm going to show you a couple ideas that I have for things like this that are, I would consider half pages, that we can put together to make a full page for a signature. All right, so we're going to start with fairly simple. So I have just two pieces that I want to put together. I did go through and I did put a backing on this. This was a white backing with a digital, and I just threw some craft paper on here. This is from a book, so it is two-sided. It really is not very spectacular, but it could be fun to be put into a journal. So what I've done with this is, I said I did put the paper on here. So this is about 5 1/4, which is great size for a book page. So what I did is I just took the rest that was there and folded it over to make a flat. So all I'm going to do is attach this to here. Now, I did ink it, but I'm thinking I'm going to put a little washi tape in there too, just to add a little bit of color in case it peeks through for the signature. Odds are it's not going to show, but this will also give it a little bit of strength for the page. And of course I can't get this started. There we go. And it is mostly decorative, so we're just gonna lay it in there. I'm only gonna put it on this side because this side looks fine enough, so I am not gonna put it over there. It's just really to cover this white part that might show. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna take this and glue it down, and I think I'm gonna glue it back like that. So when this folds over, yep, I think I'm going to do that. So this is going to go, and we are just going to glue this in. Now I'm going to use art glitter glue because it's a little stronger. Come on. So what's what happens when you don't use it for a little while? It gets anchored with you. There we go. Oh. Alright, so we are just going to glue these two pages together. I'm not going to put it right on the seam, or the fold I should say, because I don't want this piece to get caught in there. And it's a little longer than it is, but I think it should be okay for a signature. It is less than 8.5. So it'll be okay. If I wanted to, though, if I wanted to cut that down, I could. But for now, I will leave it since I'm not sure which book it'll end up going into. But now we have a signature that could go. Grab one of my teal sheets here. It would go, let's fold it this way. It would go into a book. And there you go. You have a signature. It's a little short on that side. If you wanted to make it longer, you could add another flip out. But now you have a signature from a half page. Okay, simple. One little piece together. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, so the next one involves two pieces of paper that are double-sided. And they were pretty much would be fine. If these were worked together, they'd be a wonderful sheet. But they are not. So one way you could do it is just put some washi tape in there and call it a day. But for extra protection, extra strength, I am going to use a piece of digital that I have folded apart and together. Now this might be a little bit bigger than I probably need to. I think I might trim this down a little bit. It is about 2 inches wide, and I don't think it needed to be 2 inches wide. It was just a strip I found, and I'm going to be brave here and just cut this down without my machine, or what do you want to call it, slicer. Yeah, now it is about 1 inch, give or take a little bit. All right, so all we're going to do is going to glue these two in here to make their own seam. And I think I'm going to keep that on that side because I want to keep that. So I'll glue this side. And then I'm going to put that to there. Okay, so all I'm going to do is put some glue on this inside here. Now you could use a solid piece of paper if you don't want another print in there somehow. All right, so we're going to put that one there. Whoops, finger stuck. All right, I did ink the inside so I can see that definitive line of where it is folded. It also makes it a little bit more hidden. But I wanted to make sure that it is not, they're not crossing over the spine. All right, I thought I felt a bit extra glue in there. So there we go, get that out. And it's not perfect. So if I wanted to make it a little bit more perfect, I could come around and trim the top or the bottom. But since it is probably going to be like any other signature, wrapped around something, you won't necessarily know that it is out of whack for that. But there you go. There is a signature made from two completely different. That was from a book, that is from a digital, and I just took a piece of paper. Like I said, if you don't want that to be shown, go ahead and take and add some washi tape to that side and call that one a day. Okay, lovely. All right, so there is the second half page idea. All right, so the next half page idea is very similar to the one before that, but it involves, instead of items that are double-sided paper, these are both digitals that are single-sided. And they would completely fit into a journal. They are the right size. You could go ahead and change something, keep them white, distress them, stencil them, you know, paint on it, whatever. But if you want to have just this digital showing, I've done this idea before in the past. So what I've done is I've taken a book page. It doesn't matter what kind of book page, as long as it's not brittle. I have folded it in half, and then I put a washi tape in there on both sides just to make sure that the book page stays strong. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these two in here and wrap it around the book page. And I probably will speed this up a bit because it takes a bit of time. right, so this is all glued together. There's a lump underneath there. I'm sure it will dry. I did spread it apart a little bit so that that washi tape did show inside, because I thought it was kind of a fun washi tape. The finished product is 11 inches wide, which is perfect. And the tallest piece is approximately 8 inches tall. So just like a digital, this one's a little smaller, but again, you go to put that into a journal and it's just fine if something is a little bit of a different size. It works great. So really nothing too much different about that. The pages that are on this page that's on the inside just holds a little better. The white paper is gone, and you have a fun signature that is not your traditional one for either side. So there you go. There is the next one. All right, moving on to something different. This is a book that I have. It's called Victorian Floral Album, I believe. It's got beautiful pages similar to Kathy Holden. Like, these flowers are all going this direction, but then when you flip it over, the flowers are sideways. So this is hard to put into a signature. It's big enough. I could fold it this way, but then you got pages that are sideways. So I was thinking of creating a wraparound where this is hidden inside, and then this becomes a page and gets added on. So I did find a double-sided thicker cardstock, and what I'm going to do is just take this and I'm going to glue it to that to make an 11-inch wide piece of paper. So if I do it to about here, I got to that green thing, keep that in the front. I do it to about there and pull that down. And what I will do is figure out where the fold would be, which would be at about 5.5, which is, I'm going to take that and just fold that in. And you are approximately 5, which would be fine for a journal page. And how big are you? Just a piece I found randomly laying around. So this is 6 inches. So I can go in about 1 inch, and it would be still about, yeah, that would be 6 inches. So I need to cut a little bit off of this. So I'm going to cut just a smidgen off of this to make it more like 5.5. And I think we'll just, there we go. Save that. That could be fun for something, right? Okay. I'll do it that way. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it that way. Okay, so all I'm going to do is put some glue here. I am going to put some of this, but then I'm going to add, since this is a little thicker, I'm going to have to clean my desk after this. This is a little thicker paper. I'm going to throw some art glitter glue on there just as a, whoops, get out of the way, just as an added buffer zone for it. Okay, I'm going to push it to the fold, but then I'm going to inch it out, scooch it out just ever so slightly so it is not jammed into the corner. And we will press it down. All right, so now I have a signature that is kind of gluey, but it would go in there. And then this could be just a regular flip out. I could add some paper to that. I could also possibly notch the top, make a top pocket, notch this and put it in there, but I think that might be a little bit more hard to get something in there, but I could always even fold it one more time so that that flower's sticking out and then notch it. So I think I'm going to leave it like that because options of where I want to put it. But that is a way to take care of a page that maybe you don't want to see the back part of a book and just see the front, and then you have something like that. So that is a fun way to do another half page kind of thing. Okay, onward and upward to the next one. All right, so this involves just having one digital that is white in the back, and what I've done is I have taken and found some cardstock that I have that is 8 by 8, so it is 8 tall, so I know it's great, and be able to attach this on here. I have clipped this in here to make a pocket. I'm not sure I have anything tall enough, but I'm leaving it so that it can be a tall pocket in there in the front and in the inside for that. So these are really kind of easy to do, but makes a great way to use up a digital, and yeah, this could then be writing space. So taking the 8 by 8, and in this case I did score it where it's going to be at 5.5, just like a normal half of a signature would be. And I guess I should keep saying normal, but if you are making, I should say a typical junk journal is usually using the 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper, and then the journal is like 9 by 6 kind of deal. You know, kind of the ones that I make all the time. I happen to have my green one handy right here. Like these that are folded, 9 tall. This ends up being about 6. So anything that goes on the inside, 5.5 works good for that. But if you have different size journals you're going to make, you're going to have to measure yourself. All right, so we need the page to be 5.5. So we're going to go ahead and score there. I'm going to flip it over to score because this is some strong cardstock. Okay. All right, let's get this out of the way. All right, so that would be one half of the page, and then this is the other half that you want to stick something on. So like I said, I do have a digital. So all I'm going to do is just glue it around there to wrap it around. Now, this one that I found, this digital, was shorter. This one happens to be taller, but if you want to make it a tall pocket and you want this to be shorter, there's really no reason why you can't trim these down a little bit. I think what I'll do is I'm going to cut this last row of, I don't know what you want to call them, splotches. Take that last row off. And now it can go like that. So if I want to make it a pocket, I just need to glue here and here and not anywhere else. So we're going to start with this side. I'm going to glue and I'll throw some glue there. And we'll go ahead and put this on. I'm going to have it on the bottom, even with the bottom, and again inside of the fold. So we have that. Okay. All right. Oh, we're going to finish gluing the rest. Guess I didn't have to glue that part. I just needed to glue the part where the paper went. And, oh, I'm going to glue that down. And now, if you didn't want to make a pocket and you just wanted to make this decorative, you can glue the whole thing down like I've been doing on a lot of these pages. But, like I said, this is going to be functional. So I'm going to take my hole punch and Probably should have punched it beforehand, but I'm going to just put it to the inside or the scooch over from that. Inking not necessary. Okay. All right, so there is that. And I have some tall tags here. Put a tall tag in that side, and put a tall tag on this side, because they got this split in the middle, so it would work that you could stick another tag on that side and they would be separated by at least half that barrier. But nice tall spot for some tall tags, that is for sure. And I mean, this one's really simple because it's just the simpleness of the digital and the simple solid. So this really lends itself to decorate. You can even go ahead and, if you wanted to, then take another digital and glue something on there, spruce it up, add a pocket, possibilities are endless. But that is an easy way to take a digital that's blank on the inside, wrap it around a 8x8 piece of cardstock. Now, if you don't have 8x8s and you've got some 12x12s, you can obviously cut them down. You can start with a 6x6 if you wanted to. It would be shorter. You would just have a smaller fold, because the 6 would just need to be folded down to 1/2 inch or 1 inch, and be able to make a flip and signature for that. So fun stuff. So I got that one, and I got this one for my teal, and this one for my orange journal. So I'm very excited to use those. Okay, I think I have just one more idea. All right, so last idea is probably a little more complicated, a little more intricate, but pretty straightforward. So what I had was a book page that was not big enough. It was like 7 inches, so it's not going to be a full fold. I found a piece of scrap paper that was approximately, probably about also 7 inches. And then I had another piece of scrap paper that was longer, folded in half, that you probably saw if you watched my gesso video. I shown this. This is a 12-inch piece of paper folded in half, where I just put some of the gesso on this, and I ended up gluing it together to make this pocket in here. And there is a signature. So I know the color's wrong, but there is a signature, and here would be a pocket for it. And this would be a flip out where you could add something to it, decorate it, fun stuff. But these were really just born from random pieces that I had laying around my desk that they really didn't make any sort of signature page, but 3 of them together ended up working out well. So let me show you how I did this. All right, so I do have this. This is an Edith Holden page. And again, if you fold this in half, it really doesn't make a really good signature. But if you're able to fold it at 5 1/2, then you've got a page that looks great on that side and a page that looks great on that side. So now we just need to add to the other side. So I found this digital that was laying on my, not really on my desk, but near my desk. And I thought this was cool because this side has got like blues and this has got purple, so very cool, and greens. And then this side had the yellows and the reds, and I'm like, well, that would be perfect to match those up together. Now, this could easily be done like all the other ones. Just throw some glue on there, and I've got a full-blown signature. But I decided to add a little bit of a twist of adding a pocket. And the pocket's going to go before the signature's in. So I had another piece of paper, and this is from digital, part of a digital that I was doing for some of the other stuff, and it was also folded in half and glued. This one is a pocket, but I was thinking about making this one as a flip out to be able to journal on. So what I've done is I've taken this, again, it was just a folded piece of digital that was that tall. So if you fold this, this is 5.5, so this was an 11, and about 4 inches tall. So it's about half of the sheet of the digital for this. Now all I've done is, like I said, folded it together and glued. I did around the corner, and I did add a piece of digital back here that could make it written on. The back was really flowery. So I did then take it and I scored it so that it would be about 3/4 of an inch of a flap, so that would go inside of here about 3/4 of an inch. Now on this one, I did glue this piece and the bottom, but for this one, I'm just going to glue the flap down. And since it is thicker, I'm going to put that glue and put some art glitter glue just to give it a little bit more strength. All right, so I'm going to put it at the bottom and try to match up that fold of the seam as best as I can. Okay, push it down. And for that one, like I said, I ended up gluing that. So if you want to glue the that down to make a pocket, you could do that. And I might change my mind when I go to use this, but I just want to show the option that you could make it a flap. All right, so now that we have that in there, we're going to go ahead and attach this piece around here. And it's just like all the other ones where we just glued it around and glued it in. So I'm going to do that off camera. All right, so I am back. So this is attached on here, glued on here. As the other ones, I just made sure there was just a bit of room between the fold. It was not, this was a digital that was definitely smaller than this, but that I find fine to be able to put on there. Again, flap instead of glue down. Once again, just goes in there, and then when this is there, the flap to right, and you don't even realize that it is attached into the signature, hidden in there. Yeah, fun. All right, well, that is my last idea, so let's just show these back again, just as a little recap, and just to remind you that all the links are down below for everything, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you are liking the ABC challenge so far. All right, so this one, a little more complicated, but again, very simple to do. You can either make it a flap in the seam or make it a pocket in the seam. And then we had a solid piece of paper with a digital to be able to make a pocket. Same with this one. Put the pocket on the same side, but I guess I could flip it this way, which makes it easy. Look at, I could do it that way. Pocket, pocket, very fun. And then we have two-sided book page that does not look good on one side, and be able to attach it to a two-sided heavy cardstock and be able to stick that into a signature. And we have signature of digitals that are white on the back, and just added it. This was the book page that's in there just to give it, and some washi tape just to give it a little bit of strength. We have that signature, and then we've got very similar, where we took a book page, two-sided, and then a digital that was printed on both sides, added it to a strip of digital, and put that on just the one side, since these are not double-sided. And then the first thing we did was very similar to that, where we just took part of a book page and part of a digital and just overlapped them and added a little bit of washi tape just to secure it in there. All right, so lots of different ways to make half-page book pages and be able to use them in a signature. And I'm sure there's 100 other ways to add them, glue them, jimmy rig them together. But there's just a few ways that I like to put things together. And I hope this gives you some sort of ideas to inspire you to be able to take some of your half pages or white-sided digitals that you didn't really want to put into a signature because you wanted the back not to show. And I hope this gave you an idea of how you can go ahead and use them. All right, well, that is going to be it for me today. Appreciate each and every one of you that stopped by. And as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye now.